Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another interesting video. We've been watching a lot of Dutch things, and today we're going to be watching something very interesting. It's talking about things better said in Dutch. It's coming from Casey Kilmore. It's titled Things Better Said in Dutch. I'm going to be super excited to actually learn one or two things, and I'm sure you are too. Before we dive into the video, my name is Oge. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, hi. Please consider subscribing, like this video, kindly share, drop a comment. It's important because that's where we actually learn more, okay? So drop a comment, you just watch and go, watch and drop a comment. You don't have to say something big, just say hello, hi, I'm from here, I'm watching from here, enjoy the video and all of those things. Thank you for all those appreciating my beauty. Okay, thank you so much. Anyway, let's just dive straight into the video.
Do we need to mention gezellig? I feel like this has been on so many lists. It's like not even worth mentioning. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about things that are said best in Dutch. Now, when we first arrived back here in Australia and I had been speaking Dutch all the time, every day while we were in the Netherlands, I came back and it happened more often than once where I was saying something and went to say something in Dutch because it just described the situation or it described how I was feeling perfectly, but then I would remember that it was a Dutch word and not English, and the person that I was speaking to would probably not understand what I was saying. So I've come across a few of these words and a few of these moments, and there are some things that are just better said in Dutch. So I wanted to share those with you guys, whether you're learning Dutch or whether you're a Dutch speaker and you haven't thought about these things before. I want to share with you some of my favorites, so let's get into the video. So the first one I probably use a lot, and I've definitely gone to say this more than once while I've been here in Australia, but it's the word spannend. Spannend is like telling someone that you're excited to be nervous. And I know the feeling. I feel like we've all had a situation where you're looking forward to something and that feeling of being kind of excited but nervous at the same time. There is no word in English that describes this feeling or this moment, but spannend is something that I've gone to say more than once. The next word I want to talk about is borrel. Borrel is like having after work drinks, but you have snacks, but you can also just do it with non-work people, so it doesn't necessarily have to mean after work drinks. So there's no real word for this in English, and it's kind of like having a barbecue, but it's not really a full-on meal. It's just snacks and drinks together with people that you like. So there is no word for this in English. You can use it as a noun, that is the thing that is happening. It's a bottle. Or you use it as a verb, as in we gaan borrelen. So you can do it, but it's also a thing. There is no better way to say this. The Dutch have just nailed it. They've got a word for this and it's fun to do. Another thing I have gone to say in English a few times is lekker bezig. Lekker bezig is like telling someone they've been delicious busy. It makes no sense when you translate it into English. As also the fact that lekker doesn't always mean delicious. It has a variety of different meanings. It can describe weather, it can describe food, it can describe people, it can describe that you've been busy, obviously. But lekker bezig is a thing that I've gone to tell people if I've seen that they've cleaned the whole kitchen or they've, done heaps of work, they've been really productive, then you would say, oh, lekker bezig. I feel like it's like a compliment that you're telling someone that they've done a good job without saying good job, because that's like saying goed gedaan. So this is just better said in Dutch. It's just what you say, and it just feels normal to say it. So yes, that is another thing that is just better said in the Dutch language.
To be honest, I get what she's trying to say. There are some times that English just doesn't describe what you want to, how you feel, or what you want to say, and then you better say it in your language. I feel like it's the same thing here. I think it's everywhere, to be honest. Even in Africa, in Nigeria, there are times that you cannot express yourself in English. I mean, English doesn't have that word to describe how you feel or what you're trying to explain. But when you say it in your language, just like some people, when they want to praise God, right? You know, Nigeria is a very religious country. So when they're trying to worship God and they can't even, English cannot even describe how they feel. And then when they say it in their language, it's like it's hitting, you get, it is actually hitting what I'm trying to express. So I feel like that. And it's so interesting that there are actually words that you can actually use to describe yourself in Dutch. I love it. Like, there are words that you can actually describe yourself with. When English doesn't have it, my language has it, which I think is so beautiful. So I feel like everybody needs to learn their language, know their language, get to that point where English doesn't do it and then your language just hits it. Do you understand? Yeah, so I understand. And to be honest, those words or those meaning, those expressions, they are not even in the English language. There was one that she was trying to describe two different expressions, two different feelings. She said nervous and anxious or something like that combined together. There are times that you feel like that you're a bit nervous and a bit anxious. I don't know if there's a word to describe it in English, but in Dutch there's a word that can help you describe how you feel, which I feel is amazing. But you know, it has to get to a point where you actually really understand your language. And I feel other people, I mean, these guys, which she's in Amsterdam, no, I don't know, no, she's in Australia, I think, but she still speaks her language, which is very beautiful. You understand, she understands her language to the extent that she can even express herself in words that English cannot. Amazing. This is actually beautiful, and I'm learning as well.
So the next thing that is said often in the Dutch language is uitwaaien. Uitwaaien is like going outside to get some fresh air and go for a walk, and it's windy and the fresh air kind of like revives you, like makes you energized, you feel better after it, you've cleared your head. It's like clearing your head to go outside, and it works.
Now, this thing she's trying to describe, I think someone should think about it. Is there a word in English that can describe that? Do you get? Is there a word that can actually describe all this feeling? Maybe not. But I love that there is a word in Dutch that you can actually use to describe that everybody knows and understands. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, so yeah, that's what she's trying to explain.
And it works. It's a great description for what happens. You go for a walk, it's windy, you feel good, you come home, you've had time to think. It just feels normal. It feels normal to say this in Dutch. We don't really have a word for that in English because it's probably not something that we really do. But yeah, this is another great one that I go to say in English all the time, but then I end up just saying this weird combination of like, let's get outside to get in the wind and clear our heads. Makes no sense. So another thing that I am in the habit of saying in Dutch is eet smakelijk. This is similar to saying bon appetit in French, but we don't really have a word that you say before you begin eating in English. So I'm still in the habit of sitting down and before a meal you say eet smakelijk. And when you translate this, it doesn't really work. I do sometimes almost go to say eat tasty or something like that, but it just doesn't make sense. So eet smakelijk is just better said in Dutch. I like the way that the word flows. I like that it just feels normal now to say that before a meal. So
yeah,
eet smakelijk is a great word and it's just better said in Dutch. So the next word is, again, probably just
that word. Is it similar to bon appetit? And I think bon appetit means enjoy your meal. Am I right? Bon appetit, enjoy your meal. If it's like saying that by like trying to tell, so oh, you know, before they start their meal, something like that, say bon appetit, like enjoy your meal, something like that. I don't know. I'm just asking.
It is, again, probably just a little bit of a weird word that we don't have in English, and this is jarig. Jarig is to describe the person whose birthday it is. So the birthday is verjaardag, but jarig is, yeah, I feel like I get this one confused. Hij is jarig, maar het is zijn verjaardag. Voel je jarig? It's a weird word. I like it though. I mean, it makes sense to say like, oh, do you feel birthday? See, that's weird. In English, it just doesn't translate. I feel like it's a sentence that you would just say better in Dutch. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Jarig. So this next one, I want to give a shout out to my schoonvader, Hendrik. He is notorious for saying this all the time, every day, sitting on the couch at the end of the day. It's that simple. It's better said in Dutch. We do not have a sound in English that means I am satisfied. Like, that was good. He also says a lot. So, that's
what about that?
Gewoon typisch Hendrik. And these sounds exist in the Dutch language. If someone sits on the couch and they say that, you know that they've had a good meal or a good day, or it's just like a full stop. It's nice. It's nice to hear. It's like saying satisfaction in a sound. This one I have heard far too many times while I've been on hold on the telephone, but it is een ogenblik geduld alstublieft. So this is like saying just a wink of patience. I don't really know how to translate this one. It's like just a quick look of patience, please. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense of Dutch, 100%. And it's kind of a polite way of saying like, just wait a moment, please. Like, we'll get to you as quickly as possible. So I don't really know if we have like a single sentence that says this, and we probably do, and I just can't think of it. But I like this sentence. I like that it's short. I like that it's polite, and I don't really like the fact that I've heard it so many times being on the telephone. But it's nicely said, and it's a great way to ask people to wait. So these were just a few of the words that I have come across since being back in Australia that I keep going to say and then having to stop myself thinking, that's another language, Casey, what are you doing? If you can think of any more words that don't translate into English, or moments that you've had where you...
I mean, I love that there are words in Dutch that English cannot explain. Please, I love it, right? I honestly love it, because I feel like every language do have that, maybe not a generalized word, but why I love it more in Dutch is like they are generalized words, like words that English cannot describe, but I feel like it's like that in every language. Do you guys think? I think it's like that in every language. Every language have those things that they say that English cannot describe. You're trying to explain or express something, but you don't have the word in English, and you're able to express yourself in your language, and everybody understands that, which is really, really beautiful. And there's some other words in Dutch that English do not have meaning for, but they are actually expressed words in Dutch. Please let us know in the comment section, or even in your language. There are things like this in your native language that they are words. Actually, they are words. Actually, off my head now, I can't even think of any word in my language, but I am very certain that there are words like that. But this is beautiful. I learned a lot, and I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. If you know any words, please let us in the comment section. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on post notification bell, and drop a comment on what you think, your suggestions, your ideas, your comments, and all of those things in the comment section. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.